What's going on, guys? This is your boy Badger. Wanted to cover a couple of stocks that I am looking at going into this week of the 28th of June. Let's just get right into it. So first up on my list, I actually have the one and only Apple. Apple has been in what I consider to be an ascending triangle here, which is an extremely bullish pattern. And so what we're looking at here is that Apple is close to this thick black line, right, which is proven to be somewhat of an area of resistance. And going into it this past week, we had a little bit of shift into the Dow and bank stocks, things like that, Nike earnings. So we're pulling back just a little bit. Ideally, we see this green line here at 132.45 area. If we get a big pullback and a rotation, maybe we, somehow get down here to this like 131.50 area. I think the green is a little bit more realistic, but you definitely want to make sure that we are watching this black line here. Going into earnings, which is on the 3rd of August, things could get pretty heated, right? Running up into it, you could say that this is already an earnings run up, but if it's not, if we do pull back, maybe, who knows? There's a lot of time between now and earnings. It could pull back and touch this trend line again before trying to push up. But what we're looking for here is a test of this green line here, maybe consolidation to confirm that we're not going to come any lower. If we can consolidate and hold or just come up from here, we're going to see how we test on this black line here. So a safe play, in my opinion, would be to jump into a call that has a DTE of at least a date that is on the same week or 1 week past earnings, never holding through, of course, and letting that run and test this line. So obviously, if this is 135, I'm gonna want to get something that's maybe 134.50 at the very least, but that is up to you. Moving on to the next one here, we have AMD. So AMD has broken up somewhat over this red downward trend line here. Obviously, in the past, we've had this come up past that trend line as well, so there is going to always be a room for deviation, right? A room that maybe we decide that does not count as a full break, right? So this one over here is a little better because it's maybe not touching as much, whereas this green one was fully connected. So that could be a nice indicator there, but we have to cross-reference this with this other black line that we have running through here. It's touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6 times. And so it's definitely been a barrier to cross. So what do we want to see with AMD? Well, actually, we have a pretty good example of something that we'd like to see. So Roku, similar type of downtrend. What happened with Roku, it had this tested line here that we've touched multiple times, and what happened is we touched it, rejected, kind of retested this bottom trend here, pretty much stayed in contact with that red trend line, and then we broke above with a lot of green buying power. So going back into AMD here, what we want to see is ideally we want to pull back a little bit and get some of that more buying ammunition. Hopefully we stay above the trend line, but if we touch here in the bottom, it's okay as long as we can hold it with a relatively bullish stance and then look for breaking up and taking out this candle here, which would indicate that we are now not making lower highs anymore, and that would be a nice confirmation. This, as well, as you may know, is going through earnings on June 24th. Wait, what? Yeah, June 21st, 24th. That is like not too far away. No, that's July. That is July. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking that was, yeah, it should be July. I don't know what's up with that, but we're trying to look for that to come up. I think a safe strike here for you to play would, if you can get this at the bottom and it holds just like Apple, right? If we pull down, we have a nice bullish consolidation at that 84 level. This would be a great time to buy either a strike in the money, a strike at the money, and wait for that run to happen. But if we break down look for some downside, look for minor resistance like at this level here and things like that. I don't see that happening, especially not before that next Fed meeting. Okay, jumping off into the next, we have Boeing. So Boeing, if you have not paid attention to it since March of last year, Boeing has been in a very strong uptrend, right? Making higher highs for the most part, and it's looked really great. The only hiccup we will see in recent time is that we get to this area here, and obviously we pulled back on this strong push here. We tested here to try to break above again, got rejected, tested again, rejected, but we are still maintaining this orange line, which is very good, even on this big push down. So our next area of interest is going to be the retest again of this black line. So two possible instances here. The very bullish one would be if we broke above this line here, consolidated, and got ready to move up. That would, if this breaks above and consolidates pretty well and holds above the line, not like this kind of downward consolidation, but if we consolidated up here, that would be awesome, and it probably serve as a great entry point to move up. But on the flip side, we can consolidate just like this under that line, showing that we're trying to break that price resistance. And if we cannot do it, then expect to come down, test this support over here, or even just come back maybe to this trend line before trying again for that price, or breaking down and finally giving up. I don't see Boeing breaking down. I'm relatively bullish on the Dow in the near term future, especially with the Fed meeting coming up and things like that. But market is crazy, we never know. Just keep the levels in mind and know what to look out for. Next here we have NEO. So my line on NEO is a little bit weird, right? Because I might want to put it above here, but also, you know, there's just a lot of deviation in this area. But what I am looking for, we do have the 9 EMA, which is, I don't know if you can see this yellow line, that it's been riding pretty well here since it bounced off this 31 level. We are consolidating on that 9 EMA, right on this price support slash resistance. We're above the 100, above the 200 on the daily chart. This looks really good. We broke this recent high, and it just, to me, this looks like it could be a nice turning point, especially with infrastructure and EV starting to pick up this past couple days, as Biden's trying to push for that new infrastructure bill as well, which is going to put money towards electric vehicles. They're trying not to tax and, you know, all that fun stuff. So if we get some consolidation upwards and we start to see a nice breaking point, or maybe we start to see, you know, a shift into EVs again, or we see, you know, infrastructure start to buzz and things start moving, talking about Tesla and things like that, plug, then you do want to have this on your radar, especially above that 45 level. If we start breaking below, you know, I can expect us to come back here and test downwards. But if we can hold this level, maybe we even push up to this 49 again, that would be awesome. We do have some minor resistance if you come back over here at this 47 level. And actually this, yeah, so this 47 level over here is where we tested. So if you were to buy in here, because you see some strength and you see some support forming, then this would be a nice short-term price target, followed by this 49. Okay, and this last one here, Roblox has not traded for a very long time, but looking at Roblox, it is in this nice beginning of an upward trend. So we made a big push up here to this 100 level. It came down quite a lot and touched down over here to this 78 level. And immediately started pushing back up, which is awesome. We do have this minor support level here. I consider it minor because we haven't had much testing here of it. We just see that it stalled out once, stalled out twice, and we are now at it again on this third time. So something that we can look for, if it does break above, you know, we have a short-term price target in this area. And what you want to do is not buy on that break above necessarily, but you can look for it to test, come back down, and see if it can hold the support. Nothing ever just comes up, right? Even here, when we make this huge move, we still broke above here and we consolidated 2 days and then boom, right? So that's the same concept. Maybe we jump in here, maybe we jump in, you know, maybe the price runs up here and then boom, pushes all the way back down here where we closed. That is exactly what you want to see. You want to buy when we have a confirmed support, and you want to make sure that you're not going to get burned on something that, you know, maybe you bought it up here on this candle and then boom, it closes here and then now we're coming down, right? We want to make sure that we can hold the level before we're buying in, so you can push up with the move and not against it. Currently, as it stands though, we are coming up. An alternate movement that we could see is that it rejects here. Maybe it consolidates like we saw with what was that, Neo, I think, or no, we saw it with Boeing. Maybe we see this happen, right, where we're consolidating, we're trying, and then eventually we just give up. So that is something to look for here. We could hang out in this zone before coming back, maybe touching to this trend line here, or maybe even coming into this zone here. So a couple things to watch for, but just always confirm. And when you're not sure of something, but you are sure or relatively, you know, confident in the direction, always buy time. Time is not necessarily going to hurt you, and always have an exit point. But that is all the moves I have for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions on anything, please let me know. I'd love to help out. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next week.